My name is Jessica Anguiano once again, and I am the founder of Maravillosa Movement. And just to tell you a little bit about Maravillosa Movement, who we are and what I say we as if I am a big team, but it's just me, myself, and I. So we is me, myself, and I. We operate in two different dynamics. First of all, everything that Maravillosa Movement does is everything with the thought of uplifting women and small businesses. Our mission is to help women and small businesses embrace their culture, especially what's going on right now. I more than ever, please um, keep showing up and be proud of who you are and what you do. Build meaningful connections and seek support. I'm here to help you step into leadership and step into entrepreneurship with confidence. And also, what we do is we put mental wellness at the core of everything that we do. I am not a therapist, and I did not go to school for therapy, but I do believe that just by being positive and taking care of yourself, taking breaks, wherever it is, it could help you thrive in your business. I do business mentorship. I do a lot of community and collaboration, such as CIELO. So the other part is I work with small businesses I work with organizations like Cielo where I provide workshops like this one. And the ones here are just a small list of all the different organizations that I have already worked with. While Maravillosa Movement is about 5 months old, I have been part of the ecosystem for 6 years. So this is how I bring the resources to you. And if I don't have the answer, I have my partners, I'll be able to answer you. Now, what inspired Maravillosa Movement and what makes me so different from all the other organizations that are out there supporting small businesses? It's watching my mom struggle. My mom opened a business in 3 years. I'm sorry, she opened the business and she lost it within 3 years. And it was the lack of support. And because she lost her business and I just saw her mental health declining, is what caused me to put all of this into the Maravillosa movement. So now that you guys know about me, I don't know, are we still saying Happy New Year? I added it here with a purpose, right? Because this is all about power and purpose. And I'm sorry, my internet's being a little spotty, but you're not missing anything. It's just a disco ball rolling a little bit over. I wanted to do a presentation on business setting along with CIELO because, as we know, we set these goals, and by the end of the month, what happens? But before we even dive into that, and you got to learn a little bit about who Maravillosa Movement is, I'm going to go ahead and do an icebreaker. We did this last presentation, it was quite fun. So, hopefully, we had the same fun. So, go ahead and grab your phones, scan the QR code. I'm going to give it 1 minute. If Eric or Alex, if you guys want to let me know if you guys can see it, or anybody.
Yeah, we can see the QR code.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to give it a quick, I got a little thumbs up. I'm going to give it a quick few seconds for everyone to log in or scan the QR code.
Jessica, is there any way we can drop the link into the chat?
That is a good question. We can try this other method. Let's see. How about the top where it says join at menti.com, and then it's going to ask you for a code? You can do that as well. Okay, if January 2025 was a theme park ride, which one would it be? I'm already exhausted. I am ready for 2026. look at that roller coaster in the middle. Sure feels like that. No carousels? Yes. January, in my opinion, has been wild. Oh, look at it. Look at someone has a smooth ride on that train. Yes. So January 2025 has been quite a journey so far. We are only 29 days in, and I can't imagine what the rest of the year will be. But I promise you that this presentation will bring some ease to you based on the tips and tricks that I will be showing you on goal setting. So now I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next one. Are you a morning person or a night person? Now, why am I asking this question? I'm asking this question because I want you to think that if you are a morning person, that means most of your energy happens in the morning. This is where you want to put your time and effort when it comes to accomplishing your goals. Now, your goals are going to be a little bit more focused on business because we are here for business, but this can be pretty much anything, right? And you can apply this whole presentation to personal goals such as having a healthier life, having better eating habits, saving money, reducing debt, whatever the case is. Take this into consideration when you are applying it to your goal setting. So if you are a morning person and one of the things for you is to be in better shape, I would recommend to hit the gym early in the morning if possible. Okay, so the next question is, on a scale from Nicholas to Cage, how are you feeling about your business goals if you have set them already? You guys are just punching holes on number 6. Setting goals can be a little bit overwhelming, but setting goals can also bring you a lot of happiness. Setting goals can bring you pretty much every single emotion that is listed here, all depending on how you set your goals and how committed you are to them. So with that, I'm glad to see here, and all of this is going to help me a little bit to gauge better how you guys are feeling with your goals. So here goes another question. When it comes to setting your goals for business, which statement best describes you? Sorry, I couldn't see the answer. The first one is, I set clear goals and I actively work towards them. I have goals in mind, but I don't always track or follow through. I set goals because I feel like I should, but I don't really focus on them. And goals, what are goals? I just go with the flow. Ooh, this is a goal setting team. Now, no judgment, and we can't see who's answering these questions. I forgot what that trend that's going on TikTok right now. I listen and I don't judge, something like that. All right. So it looks like majority of the answers is I set clear goals and I actively work towards them. And then we have a little bit more answers on I have goals in mind, but I don't always track or follow through. And I think then just in general, I think we all fall here. right? I think that we all have goals in life, but sometimes we don't have the accountability, or sometimes is that we don't have the direction or clarification. And that's one of the reasons why setting goals is important, because you'll be able to see, I don't have any clarification here. Who can I go for help? Here is, I believe this is my last, no, this is my second to last. When you need help reaching your business goals, where do you usually turn? A mentor, coach, or vision driven organizations. And what I mean by mission driven organizations is like CIELO, SBDC, the Women's Business Center. Online resources like blogs, courses, or YouTube. Networking and collaborations with other entrepreneurs. I figure it out on my own, trial and error. Very cool. Very cool. Last question. One word that best describes a win that you had in your business recently. And if you don't have a business yet, a win that helped you get closer to your business goal, your vision. And if you don't have a business and don't have a business in mind, just a something, a win. Let's see it. I want to end this in a good term. Investment, graphic design, media coverage. Ooh, media coverage. Delegation, passion, collaboration, empowerment. All of these are good words. Very cool. So I just want you guys to celebrate yourselves for these goals that you guys have met, in these wins that you have received in your business. And hopefully you can quadruple those words to your by the end of it doesn't even have to be by the end of December, by the end of whenever you set those goals timelines. That's pretty much it for this. Thank you so much for participating on this icebreaker. Now I'm going to get into our presentation. Oh, let's see. Sorry, I've been doing webinars my whole career pretty much, and I am so sorry. Give me 1 second. Okay, so sorry. I lost you guys for a second here. We are back in the game. So now that I got to know you a little bit, it will help me customize this presentation to you. But I wanted to know this because I want you to gauge where you guys stand, and I don't want you guys to feel alone. I want you guys to know that most people start abandoning their New Year's resolutions within 2 to 6 years after setting them. By week 2, about 25% of the people have already given up. And if you fall in this category, it's okay. That might just mean that you need other tools that might work for you. And there's some tools that work for me, may not work for you. So I'm going to introduce you to a couple of them and hoping that one of those resonates with you and that you can continue to apply them to your business. By week 4 or 6, or the end of January or mid-February, motivation drops significantly and more than 50% struggle to maintain their resolutions. March and beyond, less than 10% of people stick to their resolutions for a long term. So what I want you guys to do is be part of that 10% and increase the percentage. According to research, specifically Harvard Business Schools, individuals who set specific goals are 10 times more likely to achieve them compared to those who don't. So if you have a business, I highly encourage you to set yourself goals, whether it is to get more exposure, whether it's to increase your sales. Maybe a goal is I'm working too hard and I need to take some time off. I'm going to give myself, I'm going to work these months to be able to take 2 weeks off from my job. But in order for me to do that, I need to make sales. Whatever the case is, goals are important. Why are these goals important and why do they matter? First of all, I would encourage you that these goals have to be personal to you. Because if they are personal, they become more meaningful. And the reason why goals matter is because one, they'll make you happier. There's research out there that shows that when you achieve a goal, you celebrate. Whether you buy yourself something, you go out to dinner, you give your friend a high five, whatever the case is, whatever celebration means to you, it makes you happier. Growth and improvement bring a sense of accomplishment and making you more fulfilled. Goals suppress negative emotions, right? What I mean by this is like, ugh, I'm never gonna make sales. I'm always broke. It gets your mindset away from that. So having a clear personal goal helps you shift your focus from stress and uncertainty to progress and possibilities. Goals give you purpose and meaning. When your goals truly matter to you, they become a driven force, keeping you motivated on tough days. Have you ever felt like you've been in autopilot before? Now, being an autopilot, does that make you happy? It might not necessarily make you sad, but it's not being an autopilot pretty much means that you're just on a standstill. There's nothing that we're like really looking forward or nothing is just making sense and we're just like, whatever. So this is why goals matter. Setting goals on your terms too. Now, it's the 1st of Jan. We're almost going into February and we're talking about setting goals. And that is because goals aren't just for January 1st. You don't have to stress yourself that, oh my God, it's already going to be December 31st. I need to come up with my goals or I need to come up with my word. It doesn't matter when you set those goals. You can set them at any time you need or as you see the need of your business. But however, I would encourage you that before you start setting yourself goals, that you acknowledge and you reflect on the progress before setting those new goals. What did you do so well, right? All those emotions that you guys expressed to me a little bit earlier um, on that icebreaker, celebrate that. Celebrate that, and maybe you could even increase the bar to that goal that you have met. Because constantly chasing after the next goal, right? Like what's next, what next? And you're not pausing to reflect on your win. It just means that you're constantly running without savoring your wins. I'm gonna share a little thing, something personal, not so personal. In my Instagram, I tend to use, I do a lot of storytelling. I do share a lot of like my personal moments. And I took time to journal while I was at a coffee shop. And I was just feeling all this like gratefulness that that I've had great partners like CIELO and many others and how much happiness that's bringing to me. And I started ugly crying to the point where I kind of had to stop because somebody got worried for me. They're like, "Are you okay?" I was like, they're happy tears, they're happy tears. But it feels so good. it feels so good to be able to be grateful for the opportunities that have come along my way. And best believe me, I had a notebook full of new goals that we are going to be aiming for within the next 3 months. Now, I want to celebrate your wins. Now that I shared an ugly crying moment with you guys, I want you to drop your accomplishments in the Dropbox or in the chat box if you can. And I want you guys to cheer each other on. Okay? So I'll give you guys a quick little second. And I can't see that. I would have to stop sharing. Drop it in the Dropbox. And because I can't see, and I'm not trying to break anything here, would someone come off mute and let us know? Yeah, I'm already breaking things over here. Can you see my screen, Alex?
Yes,
Yep.
we can. See this.
Okay, see, I'm not gonna mess with it. So if anybody can come and unmute and just share with me, since I'm blind over here, I can't see what's going on. Anybody? Oh, there we go. I could see now. Eduardo is saying that he's been able to keep all his clients happy with his services. All right, Eduardo. They say it's easier to keep them than get new ones. So that is a huge win. Rebranded and build an identity for my business. Kathy, I love that. Geeta, I launched my community membership platform in April 2024 and is almost a year old. Wow. Congratulations, Geeta. I've been part of that community. It's not no small community, I'll tell you that. And then we have Dr. Alma Medina. I've launched my business. Woo! Congratulations, everyone. And please congratulate each other. This is huge. As small business owners, you guys know that it's not easy to meet this win. So always try to celebrate not only yourself, but the wins of your peers. Okay, so go ahead and drop me a 2 if you have never heard of SMART goals, because I'm over here talking about we have all heard of them, but I just want to make sure that everyone's familiar with it. If you're not familiar with SMART goals, drop a 2. Okay. All right. If you're not familiar with SMART goals, it's completely okay. And it actually makes me super happy because I love teaching you things. SMART goals pretty much is the first letter to the acronym it's an acronym to setting specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals. What I mean by that is to be specific when you are setting a goal, meaning that it needs to be clearly defined. It has to be measurable, something that you can track progress. It has to be achievable. You can't say, I want to be a billionaire by tomorrow. I'm not saying you can't be a billionaire. You absolutely can, but is it realistic? Unless you win the lottery, it's a different story. It has to be relevant. It has to be aligned with your business mission. And then you have to also set a deadline. So I didn't want to go too much into detail with the SMART goals because I want to be able to break other things down for you that maybe you haven't heard. So If you have not heard of SMART goals, I highly encourage you to look into this a little bit more. But keeping this in mind, I'm going to break it down into 3 simple steps for you. So, number 1, I want you to write specific goals. Now, when you said goal, not you, but in general, when we said goals, it's very vague when we want to say, I want to grow my business. We all want to grow our business, but how I want to grow my business might be completely different from your way of growing your business. Does that mean increasing your sales? Does that mean just getting more business exposure? I saw media exposure. That could be a specific way of growing your business. So if we were to take, I want to grow my business and make it into something more specific, it would be, I will grow my clientele network by 50%, allowing me to double my sales to 200,000 annually by December 2025. Let me break it down for you. You put the what. I want to grow my clientele by 50%. You added your why to double annual sales to 200K. How? By attending networking events, booking parties, and gaining referrals. When? Within the next 12 months. Okay, so this is how we're not just saying, I want to grow my business. Now we're being intentional. And I'm going to give you guys another example. I'm sorry. There's going to be 2 examples on the next slide. So for number 2, okay, for number 2, I want you to take actions and stay committed. How many times have we heard someone say, I want to lose weight. I'm going to lose weight. And then you meet with them and they haven't lost any weight. And like, hey, how's your weight loss going? Oh, I'm going to start next Sunday. Or, oh, I haven't had a chance to go to the gym because it's so expensive. Or just come up with like all these pretty much excuses. And it doesn't have to be about weight loss. This first thing that's just tends to be like the number 1 resolution, right? It could be looking for a job, like, right? Like you want a new job, but wanting a new job is one thing, and actually putting in the work is another thing. So now that you have set your specific goals, right? Using the example that we used about booking more parties, here is how you're going to actually stay on track with actionable steps. So you may have to go to a networking event. This is where we're breaking it down a little bit more. So if you are going to go to networking events, you need to find 2 events each month to attend. The goal is to attend your first event by you add the date and then put a celebration. You're going to collect the contact info from 10 new people by this date, and then you're going to go celebrate. This is because you're breaking down in bite sizes your general goal. Another milestone that you want to add is I need to start booking more parties. So that means I'm going to offer promotions to book at least 2 parties a month. And the goal is to book your first party by this date. Then you're going to celebrate by securing 6 parties by specific date. You also need referrals. The referrals are going to help you get to those 200K that you want at the end of the year. So you need to ask for 2 referrals after each party. The goal is to start asking for referrals right after each event starting. Go ahead and add the date. And then, of course, again, celebrate and get 12 referrals by getting 12 referrals by a specific date. So you could literally put your big goal, put milestones, and then break it down within those milestones. Here's another example, the example that I was talking a little bit earlier. Increase Instagram engagement to grow my following by 25% in 6 months. So your action steps is post 3 times a week on Instagram, engage with followers daily by responding to comments and DMs, run 1 paid ad campaign each month. You're going to put your dates and milestones, start date, milestone 1, milestone 2, and goal achieved. Now I went and added a screenshot of my insights. So if you definitely want to use your insights to make sure that you're on top of it so you can cross reference. Okay. Let me see if I have any questions. Does anybody have any questions so far? Okay. Okay. Lean on your community and mentors. What do you do when you hit a dead end or you get stuck? I want you to put this on your goals. I want you to identify who are these group of individuals that can help you, or what you will need to do if you were to hit a dead end. You may want to ask a mentor or a colleague for feedback, right? Share your challenges and get their advice. I have had friends that have asked me, hey, I know that you go to networking events all the time. How do you find them? That is part of my goal, to be out in networking events, but I don't even know where to start. They can give you a fresh perspective that can help you move forward. I actually have quite a few faces in here that I rely on for support, because sometimes we have a vision and that's all we see. And then when I'm like, I'm trying to do this, but I just don't know if I should, and they're like, what if you were to start with plan A instead, so you can uh, become the expert in that particular area. Mind blown. I didn't think about that. Join a small business support group. Connect with others who get it. Exchange ideas and resources. Look into organizations like CIELO for support and mentorship. Find an accountability group. Team up with people who will check and keep you motivated. I just saw Kita here. She has a group of women that show up for each other all the time. I've been part of other accountability groups that share wins, challenges, and stay focused on goals. And if there's not one that you see out there, create your own and make it your own. The accountability group that I have is amazing because we are all entrepreneurs, although we're all different industries. And I love it because it's a mixture of personal and business. So sometimes we'll share personal stuff that we're going through, and as well as business. So you find whatever is aligned with you. And I want you to ask a question. I'm going to give you a minute to think or write. Who would you call? I want you to have this on your dial or even on paper. Who would you call if you were to be stuck on your goals? Now, I added this, what we call a Maslow's hierarchy, in our last session, and I decided to add it here because I think it's very important. Maslow hierarchy is pretty much a pyramid or a tool to analyze where you stand in pretty much anything in your life, in your business, in your goals, right? So you want to be able, the goal is to always be at the top of the pyramid, right? but sometimes we struggle with not feeling like we belong or that we don't have personal achievement. There's different, there's 5 steps to this pyramid. Now, why am I adding this to here? Is because if you feel like you in your business are at number 3 and you're struggling to get to number 2, please do not go to someone that is less experienced than you. Don't go to someone that does not have your mindset um and is on level 5. Because what happens is if they don't have the experience that you're looking for, they're probably going to put that fear on you. I remember when I wanted to launch Maravillosa movement, it was just a vision and I was super excited. And I told just this random, just this random girl, because we were all at the same party, and I said, I want to have this business and I have this big vision for it. And I'm all telling her, she's like, oh, yeah, that's rough. Can't have a business. And I just chopped my hair, but I would have just flipped my hair right now and tell her, look at where we at right now. The point here is that if you need support, we're not going to know the answers. I've been in the ecosystem now 6 years. I have contacts from all over the place, and the I don't know the answers to everything. Even though I have all the resources at my capacity, I still, there's some areas in my business where I'm not knowledgeable. So that's when I have to reach out to my partners and say, hey, I need support in this area. Can you help me? Or do you know anybody else that would? Okay. So this component right here is super important when you are setting your goals. Here is my accountability group. I just wanted to share it with you. So I met these women through a group coaching, and that group coaching ended. But we love that accountability that we had for each other. And I still go to this accountability group. It's about a year and a half old, I would say. And if we see Alma at the top, she's in Chicago. We have Delma here in the Inland Empire. Victoria is in Hawaii. Stephanie's in San Diego. Maricela, I believe she's in Michigan. I am in the Inland Empire as well. And Elizabeth is in LA. We all have different businesses. So there's some of them are health wellness coaches, some of them are post divorce coaches. One has a coffee farm. They just have all these different types of businesses, but it just works so well because we get to support each other. If we do marketing material, we share it with each other. Hey, do you see anything missing? Or does anybody have a contact that could do my taxes? It just works. So I've been having this accountability group for about a year and a half, and I love it very much. And I highly, highly encourage you that you join one or that you create one, because it really does keep you accountable. I meet with them once a month, and if I tell them my goal is X, Y, and Z, and here comes that meeting, believe me, I move everything around so I could be able to tell these women the updates that I had said that I was going to do for my business. So I just kind of wanted to share that with you guys. Here's a tool. Some of you guys may have seen this already because I do see some familiar faces that have attended to my past workshops, but I wanted to share it with everyone else too. So this is another tool, right? This is more connected to, well, I don't know who I would contact if I were to get stuck in a certain way, in a certain area. So this one in particular is, again, you identify what the business goal is, right? So in this case, we're increasing sales by 30% by improving marketing efforts and creating a website to close more leads effectively. What assistance is needed? I need to conduct research, obtain quotes, collect key information to move forward. I need access to capital. I need this money because I need to cover the website, and someone that can design the website for me. And by identifying this, now I can understand who are my point of contacts, right? So after identifying your goals and needs, you can shop around, you can ask. This is where you're going to say, okay, I'm really looking for someone to do my graphic designer. So now you know that for your next networking event, you're going to look for that graphic designer. And then after that, it's very important that whatever goals that you're setting, that you're executing and you're monitoring your progress. So I'm going to give this to CIELO to help you fill in the blanks on your own, right? So you're going to identify that business goal. You're going to identify what is the assistance needed and who are your point of contacts. Like, who is it that you need? Do you need a graphic designer? Do you need a banker? Do you need an insurance broker? What do you need? And then you go and look for them. Here is another thing. This is called this is called an action plan, right? This is what you can utilize. And it's a worksheet. I'll go ahead and provide this to you as well. So when you go to networking events, I want you to take notes of who you're meeting, because everything that we're doing here is very intentional, right? So if you meet Jessica, she said something about she was from Maravillosa movement and she's a small business mentor, but she also says that she can help with business mentor. You're going to meet so many people that you're not going to know who is who and what they do what. So this is what I'm encouraging you to do. Take a little sheet and I'll provide you with this copy, so you can get targeted connections. Um, and when you are following up with them, so you can have purposeful conversation, strategic follow-ups, and then who knows, you guys may have a mutual benefit. I always think this is a bonus. I always, whenever I do meet a partner or even another small business owners, I love to learn what they do. So when I do go to other networking events and they are in need of something, I do the recommendations. So I will share this action plan with you, as well as the roadmap. And this is just a quick introduction to SWOT analysis. I'm not going to go deep in this, but I know that if you attend to CIELO's mentorship program, they are going to cover this. It's basically analyzing your strengths, your weaknesses, and opportunities and threats. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because sometimes we do have a hard time setting goals. And this could be a nice little icebreaker to identify what are some of those goals. So SWOT analysis is pretty much taking an analysis of your strength, and strength is what does your business do well and sets you apart from competitors. And then there's weaknesses, areas where your business may be lacking or could improve. There is opportunities, external factors or trends that could help you business trends. I'm so sorry. External factor or trends that could help your business grow. And then there's threats, external challenges that could harm your business or limit your growth. Um, a good example, I think that threats tends to be one that is a little bit confusing. And I was using the example of threats like uh, all the work that I do is virtual. And a threat for me is that I moved to an area where the power is constantly going out. That's a threat to me because I might need to find a new place to live or have a better reliable hotspot or something that will limit my business. Um, during the fires, while I wasn't directly impacted, we had no power, and I had a potential a client that I wanted to talk to. Very important. My call kept dropping because I had no internet, and even then, ever since then, I haven't been able to get in contact with that potential person. So again, we are working on the power on this situation. So that's just kind of an example that I wanted to provide you. But with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and open it to for any questions if there's any questions, and then we'll go from there. So, any questions?
Jessica, I'll chime in. We've had a very active chat room. There's a lot of connections being made. It looks like some have met others already. Might be
Okay.
familiar with others. So it's nice seeing all the kind of this the chat and just seeing the activeness on that. But yeah, if anybody did have any questions, right now it's a great time to ask.
It's a very active group in the chat, but a very quiet verbal class. Okay, well, meanwhile, we wait for any questions. I do want to invite you guys to our next month's webinar. As Alex said, this is a series of different webinars that are going to be around business topics. We are going to be talking about become an expert on your ideal customer. Uh, One of the things that I didn't mention at the very beginning of the presentation is that I have a background in marketing, specifically on the consumer behavior of things. And I am super passionate learning with my visual merchandising background as well. Why did you decide to buy that blue blouse versus the red one? That is how crazy I am into the consumer behavior. So I thought it would be great for me to teach you this in great information. It is next month, Wednesday, February 26th, from 4 to 5 p.m. And I believe CIELO will be sending you an invitation or an announcement so you can register as well. Like this class, it was at no cost to you. And we encourage you to take advantage of these resources that we're providing for you at no cost. Um, I do want to invite you to connect with me as well. Um, I also have little plug. I also have a podcast called Vida I Wish I Knew Then, where I talk about all things first gen. So if you are a small business owner, I am gonna slowly start transitioning into business topics as well. But it's just lifestyle for now. And again, like the title says, just speaking about things I wish I would have known then. And with that, that's it. I'll pass it back to you, Alex, in case you have anything else.
Well, thanks again, Jessica. This was a great topic, a great way to start the year. And we really hope that all of you continue to attend as well too. Kind of like what Jessica had mentioned. We all of these topics are kind of go hand in hand. They all relate to each other, right? So they're all relevant for entrepreneurs. And so we will send a recording or an email out to you by end of week with the recording of this session, along with some action items and along with Jessica's email and contact information. But other than that, I definitely appreciate your time, and I look forward to seeing all of you at future events. And Jessica, thank you so much for this lovely presentation.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to be with CIELO's community. I believe, Daisy, did you have a question? I saw your little hand up.
Yes, I raised my hand, but it wasn't really a question. I actually just had a comment, which was you talked about one of the things that you must do with your goal setting is making sure that you celebrate no matter how small your win is and being accountable. I think being accountable and staying accountable is super important, but equally important is that celebration of a small milestone along the way, whether it's something big or small. So thank you for touching on that. I haven't heard that be presented in other presentations for goal setting or vision board for your business or even for personal, right, endeavors. So I thought that that was really, really powerful and something that I'm definitely going to It's gonna stay with me.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Daisy, for sharing your thoughts on that. It's absolutely important that we celebrate, and it doesn't have to be huge, right? It could be. It's funny because I talk to a lot of you guys in here, so I feel like I use a lot of those examples. Like, if that means to get your nails done because you met something, go ahead and do that. I'm not gonna say who told me this. She said, "Okay, I'm gonna go get ice cream with my kids." That was her celebration. It doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be expensive. I had someone else in here too that I said, "Can I talk to you?" And it was just to let her know all of my wins. Like, I had to take it out of my system, right? So continue to celebrate yourself. And thank you so much, Stacey, for bringing that up once again.
Yeah, that was a really cool activity. So thank you for actually doing that. It was nice to seeing everybody celebrate each other's wins. So it was
Mhm.
very cool, and it just felt like kind of, even though we're virtual, it's like we all got to know each other very well. So
Group hug.
exactly, virtual group hug. All right. Well, again, thank you all for being here. Looking forward to seeing more of you in the future. And thanks again, Jessica. And I hope you all have a great night.